Welcome to Chopstick Travel. I'm Luke Martin, and today I'm in La Guajira, Colombia. This is a peninsula in the northeast of Colombia, close to the border of Venezuela, and I've come here to spend the day with the Afro-Colombian community of La Guajira. We're going to be learning about their culture, their traditions, and of course their cuisine, and in particular we are going hunting for iguana. So iguana is a popular ingredient here in Colombia. We're also going to be going fishing and seeing how they use a traditional African fishing technique here in Colombia. It's going to be a really interesting episode. I am so excited to be here. So make sure you stay tuned until the end. Let's go hunt some iguana. This is my local guide, Leinar. What do you got here?
So this is a rifle, but it's just air rifle. It's not any gunpowder or something like that.
Right.
And you do this. When you do this, then it's ready to put the pellet in here. So it's ready to shoot.
All right, so we were just driving along. We spotted a small one up in the tree here. So I think Leinar's gonna take a shot and see if we can get it. The iguana is way up in the top of the tree, and it's not a green iguana. You can't really see him very well because he's blended in. He's camouflaged really well against this tree.
Oh.
Wow, nice shot.
Cuidado con el alambre.
So here in Colombia, it is actually illegal to hunt and sell iguana. If you're hunting it for personal use like we are, then there's absolutely no problem. They had problems in the past with overhunting, but now through educational programs teaching people about the conservation of the iguana, the population has rebounded a lot. So it's a lot easier to hunt them now than it was 10 years ago. And also we're going to be only targeting males because we don't want to shoot a female that might be bearing eggs. And also we're going to be looking up in the trees because we're only going to shoot ones that are in the trees, because if they're on the ground it could be that they're laying eggs. We're going to take a drive and keep our eyes open for the iguanas, and it's a lot easier to look from the car because we can cover more ground. That one was a little bit small, but what were you just telling me, Leon?
This is like when you go hunting, the first thing that you want to hunt, if you find one of them, you have to shoot it. After that, then you can be like, okay, I'm gonna now choose which one is the perfect to hunt or not.
So you have to take the first one.
We believe that if you see something but you didn't hunt it, then you will not find anything in the forest.
So that is why we took the first one we saw, even though it's a little bit small, but otherwise we might completely ruin our luck if we don't shoot the first one that we find. Okay, that didn't take long at all. Our guy just spotted another one. Two iguanas in probably 5-10 minutes. I thought we were going to be out here for a lot longer, but these guys are pros. They spotted them so easily and then sniped them right out of the tree. That was exhilarating, really cool. So we've got two, and then another couple locals came by and they had two more, so that's plenty. We're not getting any more today. think we've got 5 iguanas, and that took maybe 20 minutes. It was really fast. These guys are pros. Our guide Leonard was telling us that he used to do this all the time as a kid, and now we've just come to this little farm, this ranch, and this is where we're going to be cooking the iguanas. They've got to boil down a little while so you can peel the skin off first. So we're actually going to go fishing nearby to here, and then we're going to have hopefully iguana and fish for lunch today. That is fresh iguana. Tail is still wiggling when they cut it off. Nice little snack for the pups. So it's like a corn and sugar drink they just offered me. There's like pieces of corn in there. Kind of reminds me of like soy milk, but corn flavor. A little sweet. Actually, it's really good. So he's just climbed up this tree because he wanted to cut off some of the leaves. These are the leaves right here. And this is going to be used for fishing. I'll tell you a little bit more about it in a minute. So we've got a bucket full of those leaves and we're heading down to the river now to go fishing with them, and I'll show you exactly how they're doing it. It's a very unique technique that comes directly from Africa. So Colombia is home to one of the largest African communities in South America. During the colonial period, there was a genocide of the indigenous pre-Colombians, and the colonists needed people to basically pillage the resources of Colombia, so they brought slaves from Africa. And then in the 1850s, slavery was abolished, but times were still tough for the Afro-Colombian community, and a lot of them sought refuge in the jungles of Colombia, such as here in La Guajira. And they relied on the knowledge and skills that they knew from their home countries in Africa to survive in the jungles of Colombia. And so I'm going to show you a fishing technique that comes directly from Africa, but I'm going to show you it here in Colombia. How cool is that? What is the name of this plant, Leonard?
Okay, in Spanish we call it orejero because the seeds of this tree looks like an ear. Like orejero means ear, looks like an ear, and then when it's ready, all these seeds from the ear goes out, and it's from where the tree then grow up. So we use this green, really green, and young leaves to smash it, mix with water. And then that water, you use a pipe to put the water by the pipe, blowing up inside the cave. We blow the water inside the cave, and this water cuts the oxygen of the fish and make them go out.
Okay.
And then is when we catch them.
So is this plant also in Africa, or would they use a different, similar plant?
We have different plants to use it. We have another tree that is stronger than this one to do that, but we don't want to be that strong.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
I didn't realize I was gonna have to get in the water, so I'm getting my underwear because I don't want to get my pants wet. All right, things are getting exciting. So he's grinding down those leaves on a rock, and he's got a little plastic bottle that's been cut open, and then mixing it with a little bit of water and then making it into this kind of green juice. And that is going to be kind of the solution that completely depletes the water of oxygen. And then they've got a net set up. They're gonna blow that solution, that green juice, into the little cave, and then it's gonna drive the fish out into the net, hopefully. They've selected this spot along the riverbank because there's kind of little caves and crevices that they think the fish might be hiding in. So they've just blown that green juice solution, the ground up leaves, into the water, and now we just wait, and it kind of mixes with the water, and then it completely depletes the oxygen, and then the fish should come flying out.
Mucho barbón, marica, pero es que yo solo aquí. Este barbón sí está grande. Ven. No, eso no hace nada, marica. No, ya lo cogí ya. Este no se va ya. Grande.
Grande?
Grande. Este no se va. Si se va es otro.
Does he have a hold of it?
Yeah, he touched one.
He's got it in his hand. Oh. Wow. These guys are so incredibly resourceful. That only took them like 5 minutes to set this up. They've already got a pretty decent sized catfish. Hey Lainer, how did you learn this technique? Who taught you?
The thing is that I started to learn how to do this because it was something that we do in our family, but we didn't know about this things that we are doing that is the same thing that people in Africa do. I just discovered that because I was doing my master's degree, and then I knew it.
So you didn't even know that this was
Since he was Africa. Since he was a kid, I was doing that without knowing that.
Wow.
Yeah.
Well, success. We got one catfish. We're gonna try, I think we're gonna try another location. Oh, this is so refreshing. I wish I brought my swimming shorts though, because I'm the only one wearing my underwear. So we're scanning the riverbank for another good area with a little crevice or cave to try the technique again. I am really deep in the Colombian jungle, deep in La Guajira Peninsula. Yeah, this might be one of the most remote places I think I've ever filmed at. And I'm walking in my underwear soaking wet with a bunch of guys carrying rifles. So we reach our next spot. It's this rock that's submerged underwater. I can barely keep up with these guys. They are fast, but when I just arrived, they had already caught a fish. It's kind of like a bottom feeder fish, and they just rip its head off to kill it. and get rid of all the guts and stuff right in the river here, and that's actually what they're targeting. They say that's the most delicious fish you can catch using this method.
¿Cómo lo vas a soplar? Eso no hay como soplarle ahí.
Well, it's definitely easier to get the iguanas than it is the fish. Man, I might have bit off a little bit more than I can chew here. I'm gonna let them do their thing. I can barely keep up filming and trudging through this river. I think I'm just gonna go for a swim. It is so nice. So we're back at the farm. The iguana's been cooking away for a while and just boiled. So they're removing the skin now and kind of shredding the meat. And it's surprising how much meat is on the iguana. What is this dish called, Leonard? Iguana con coco, or?
Yeah, iguana con coco.
Okay.
It's like in milk, the coconut milk.
Okay. Coconut milk with iguana. Let's try it out. How often would you eat iguana?
Not often.
Not often?
Like maybe you do that in vacation or something like that. It's like 1 or 2 times per year, something like that.
So the iguana's cooking away on wood fire. He added in the coconut milk, which was just in a Coca-Cola bottle, homemade coconut milk, and then lots of spices, tomato sauce, mustard, a black sauce. Now he's just adding some tomatoes, and there's green peppers in there. Is that enough? More?
Yeah.
Okay.
That's okay.
And you can see all those pieces of iguana in there. There's green onions, there's cilantro, all kinds of different things. It's really jam-packed full of ingredients, so I think it's gonna taste delicious. My first time trying iguana, and I know it's gonna be good. I'm excited.
Yuca treintera, la mejor del mundo.
So the iguana is coming along. It smells incredible, and this area is particularly popular for their yuca, which is cassava. So we're also boiling some cassava, and then we're gonna also cook up the fish too. Just enjoying the countryside lifestyle here in Colombia while I wait for the iguana to cook. I can't say I was ever expecting to be this excited to try iguana, but it looks so good. Check out this mango tree. It's absolutely packed full of mangoes. I mean, packed full. Look at this. There's chickens and turkeys and donkeys and dogs. Their really rustic kitchen is so cool. All wood fire, of course. The boys just rolled up on the motorcycle with another catch. They got another iguana. You can see just how abundant they are, but this time they accidentally shot a female. It's pregnant, it's got eggs. Apparently the eggs are delicious too. They're actually gonna throw them into our stew, so we might try out iguana eggs as well. It wasn't the target. They didn't know it was a female when they shot it, but like I said, they are very abundant here. So as long as you're not selling it, you're not doing anything wrong here in Colombia. All right, the time has come to try the fruits of our labor. Well, not so much my labor, but those guys' labor. Here is the beautiful iguana with coconut milk, and that right there is one of the eggs from that female that they just brought in. And then the yuca, the cassava, which is very popular in this region, as I mentioned. So let me grab a little piece of yuca, some iguana. This is gonna be my first time. Let's try. It doesn't have any weird flavor whatsoever. Often when you eat some kind of wild meat, you might be expecting there to be a gamey flavor. Not this. At least it's masked with all of the spices that they put in there. So many different spices. It's got little bones, kind of like fish bones, but the meat is more kind of firm, lean than fish. It's halfway between a fish and a chicken. Like frog meat, if you've ever had frog. It's very similar. Yeah, little bones. Oh man, it's really good. The flavor's awesome. And I'm surprised at how much meat is on these guys. I can see why they like to go hunt these, because it's easy and really hearty food. When times are tough, iguana would be the go-to for sure. And let me try the egg. Look at that egg right there. It's almost like just the egg yolk. There's no egg white. Let's try it. The egg is really creamy, but it's got like a layer on the outside that's a little bit chewy. No shell, but like a little thin, chewy layer, almost like skin around the egg. The flavor is awesome. There's so much going on in there. They put a ton of different spices. It's really like a strong flavor. And then it goes well with the yuca too, which is sort of like the texture of a mashed potato. I'm really impressed with these guys. Not only do they know how to hunt, they know how to cook too. The flavor is awesome. First time trying iguana. I'm sure that no matter where you are in the world, if there was an abundance of iguana, you would be eating it too. It's good. The flavor is like strong coconut, but with almost like a ketchup-y flavor and like a ketchup texture almost to that sauce that's all around it. There's some hearty chunks of meat on that iguana. More than you might expect. It's good. So I got a second plate with the fish cooked also with coconut. I'm gonna peel back the skin here, and oh wow, yeah, that's got quite a bit of meat in there. And then I've got a patacone, which is just a smashed plantain, and then this tomato sauce that they've made up here. Let's try it like this. The flavor is dominated by that tomato sauce, and I love the texture of the patacone. It's got this crispy exterior, but a really smooth, creamy inside, and I love doing these catch and cooks. It's so cool to see the entire process, especially with that really unique African fishing technique, and then to see it on your plate like this. The fish doesn't have a whole lot of flavor, or it's similar flavor to the iguana. They cooked it in the same way, but the meat is really, really tender. Those guys are so skilled. Catch the fish, catch the iguana, hunt the iguana, and then cook up this delicious meal. Wow, that tomato sauce is really good. Colombia is full of unique culinary cultures. Today we got to experience the Afro-Colombian cultures and traditions. Although iguana is eaten amongst all cultures here in Colombia, the particular way we cooked it with a coconut, that's particularly Afro-Colombian style. And then of course the African fishing technique that we used earlier. I am loving Colombia. It is such a unique country. I have never seen anything quite like it. It's my first South American country, so I am really pumped to be here. There's so much more to explore, so make sure if you haven't already, subscribe and hit the bell icon so you get notified when I post the next one, and I'll see you guys on the next episode of Chopstick Travel. Bye.